High interest rate at 8.5% is really what has brought this country to the discussion of fairness, which is also on the campaign trail. You can go into a bank today and get a loan for under 4%. You can get a 30-year loan on a home under 4%. So why do students have to deal with 8.5% interest on their college loans? The current student loan debt in the United States is over $1.3 trillion. And since the 1990s, student debt has continued to grow. Where have the wages gone? Nowhere near that kind of growth. It just isn't fair in the minds of a lot of Americans. Recently, I spoke with former Governor of Minnesota, Ventura, about the cost of our education and what he thinks would be the best solution to the crisis.
We need to go, and I know this is going to seem like it's a home run out to right field or whatever at the plate in baseball, but I think the bottom line is we have to get out of these wars. We need to get out of war. Let me repeat that, because that is absorbing all the money of this country, money we don't even have, the national debt, everything else in between. Since September the 11th, we have spent $1.7 trillion on the war on terror. And it's worse today than it's ever been. It's accomplished nothing. Now, how can we save education? My position's simple. Get out of the Middle East, get out of these wars, let our troops protect our country, and we'll have so much money, we'll be able to fix education, we'll be able to fix national health care. I made the laughing statement. I said, if we'd get out of the wars and have $1.7 trillion to spend here, you could go to the doctor and the doctor'd give you a check for $50 when you left.
And Governor,
that's how ridiculous.
Governor, what are your
Go ahead.
What are your thoughts on the financial industry in this country charging exorbitant interest rates on students who are just now getting into the job market? And I mean, we're talking 7, 8, 9% in some cases.
And it's worse than that. Let's go back to the national debt itself. It's at $19 trillion that these two parties have created. A child born today is $50,000 in debt when it takes its first breath of air. And that child won't even work for another 18 years. Same true for the college education. They have these kids so handcuffed today in paying to go to college that by the time they graduate, they're a debtor just like the country, and they will spend the rest of their lives simply never being debt-free and paying that debt for life. Now, there's ways around it, but unfortunately, I took one. You could go into the United States military, and when you get out, you got the GI Bill. So I could go to school and actually get paid, but I had to give up 6 years of my life to the military in order to achieve that, and I could have got killed. So it doesn't come without a price. But always remember this, and I used to tell college kids this, and I know today it's worse than ever, but if you're smart enough to be in college, you ought to be kind of smart enough to figure out how to get there, how to get through it. Now, I'm not saying the deck's not stacked against them. We need to eliminate these interests that they have to pay. We also need to make it to where college debt can be declared on bankruptcy. Right now, you can't even do that. You can declare bankruptcy, but if you've got college debt, that doesn't go anywhere. There's ways it can be fixed. I don't know all the answers. Remember, I was just a governor.
But you do know how young people respond to this issue. You've seen this for years, and we're seeing it now play out in American politics. Do you think finally, students are going to have their voices heard on this issue?
If they come out and vote. I said that when I ran for governor and when I went to college campuses where they told me don't go there, they don't vote. I told people they will never listen to you unless you become a voting bloc. If you can elect them, they will then start paying attention to what your needs are. But until you vote, they're going to ignore you. Now, hopefully, Bernie Sanders, I did it in '98. Bernie Sanders right now could possibly get this generation out there. The point of the matter is, in order for them to get their problems looked at, they have to become voters, and they have to be someone who can control these elected officials on whether they get elected or not. That's the only way it's going to happen. These guys are bought off by big money, and big money's what talks to them, and the only way to counteract that is by voting. Young people must get out and vote. If you don't vote, don't be.
Jesse Ventura here on the News with Ed Schultz. Great to have you with us, Governor. Thank you.
Thank you.